welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. It's Barnes, it's Tony, it's Renee, it's Tuesday, another nice spring day. Good to have you back, bud. How's it going?
Yeah, dude. Nice to be back. It's going well. Like you said, dude, enjoying the nice spring air right now. Love to see. Is it technically spring?
Yes, I think yesterday, right?
As of Sunday at 11:33 a.m.
Oh,
interesting how they do the 11:33 a.m. call.
That is kind of weird. What is that about?
I don't know. All I know is my aunt Tracy texted me and said that that's it.
Yeah.
She knows.
Here we are.
She knows.
The snow is a distant memory. Cold temperatures. Only getting up from here. Staying lighter out longer. All the stuff we want to see. But a lot to talk about, Tony. And especially, didn't get to talk to you yesterday about all the NFL moves.
Right.
We'll start there. Just kind of curious your thoughts. The first one, obviously, the mega deal, Deshaun Watson, I think it was 5 draft picks, going to Cleveland, getting that fully guaranteed contract of like $240 million. What were your thoughts about that?
I mean, dude, that's honestly a crazy deal, especially with obviously the storylines following Watson, right? But I mean, a good fit for him. I mean, they have a good defense, a great running game that we talked about. They have some solid offensive pieces. And of course, what makes it more interesting now is where's Baker going, dude?
Yeah, and he before this happened demanded the trade. Then they said
Right.
They're not trading him, but now I'm hearing rumors that this could be a lengthy suspension. It almost seems like it's going to be at least half the season. So
For Watson?
yeah,
Really?
yeah. Well, because think
It
about
should
it,
be,
if Ridley's the whole season for
Right.
gambling. I mean, Watson doing what he did. I mean, I don't know. They're always
I know.
concerned about their perception too. So I think at least 8 games.
Wow.
And I wonder, I mean, he has no choice. If they say we're not trading you, I mean, he's not going to not get paid. I think he'll end up starting. That'll be so awkward, though. Like, do you think they will do that just to, compete in those 8 games or however many it is that he's not there?
I mean, yeah, dude. Who else is there, really?
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, obviously now at that point, it begs the question is if Baker is starting, obviously doesn't want to be there, clearly. Tight about the Watson acquisition, I'm sure. Is he going to kind of play up? Is he going to play as hard as to try and get that spot, or is he just kind of milking it, dude?
Well, I think if that actually happens, he'll go all out because then he'll be like, okay, whoever needs a quarterback is going to want to trade for me.
Mm-hmm.
And one interesting team you got to think about too is what about possibly the Seahawks maybe grabbing him?
Right. No, yeah, exactly. As of right now, I mean, who do they have, dude?
Yeah, Drew Lock,
Yeah,
who's obviously trash.
Who's obviously not a lock.
No. And then the other big trade yesterday, Matt Ryan goes to Indianapolis, something we had kind of foreseen for a 3rd-round pick. Atlanta absorbing $40 million in dead cap space. But then they do sign former Titan and Oakland Raider quarterback Marcus Mariota to a 2-year deal, which is really a 1 year for about $6.75, $12 million option for 2023. What'd you make of that transaction there?
Mariota, dude.
I've always liked Mariota.
I don't know, dude. I feel like he just didn't perform.
Didn't perform, but you think about it. He was in Tennessee,
Right.
kind of a vanilla offense, and with Oakland or Las Vegas,
Right.
when he was in there, I mean, he still looks fast. I think he has an arm. And you think about their coach, Arthur Smith. He
Right.
was a former offensive coordinator for Tennessee when they went to the AFC Championship game. I think he can get creative with his mobility. These guys with
Right.
mobility, you can make it work. It just has to be the right system.
No, yeah, I'm sure, but it's tough, dude. I mean, you're gonna tell me that like between the Raiders and Tennessee, like they didn't have a system for him. I know you talk about their offense on Tennessee being a little vanilla, but I mean, isn't that why Mariota was there to make it not so vanilla?
Yeah, I just think that they really took off once he was demoted, and the thing is, that's when Derrick Henry really took off too. So if Derrick Henry was doing what he's been doing with Mariota, I think it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
And in Vegas, he had one start, he looked great, and other than that, it was just wildcat packages because Derek Carr is getting all the reps. playoffs.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I could see it happening. And then in terms of the Matt Ryan aspect, I mean, I think you're going to get a consistent season out of him. I don't know if it's going to be that great, though.
Yeah, I mean, but you think about moving from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan.
Oh, it's a step up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to bring in Julio Jones, honestly.
Really? That would be crazy if they
Get the
did.
boys back together.
Yeah, I would love that.
And of course, he's banged up. He's not as good. But I just think when you have that rapport with someone that they played together, I mean, geez, I'm not even sure exactly how long, but I want to say, at least 10 seasons, if not more, because I think he was 14 overall seasons with the Falcons. So, yeah, call it, whatever it is, 10, at least 10. That in their sleep, they got these routes down. They got these check downs. They know what they're doing out there. So I think that would be a great move for the Colts. And I just think, too, Matt Ryan, I think, will have a ton of success because of the play action with Jonathan Taylor, who had, his breakout year last year. I think the teams have to stack the box. They have to honor the run threat, and that should leave him, to go downfield to Michael Pittman and maybe Julio Jones or a different receiver that they bring in. So I think Matt Ryan is poised for success. Now, he is in a tough AFC, but I still think, he has the ability to win the division. Of course, Tennessee with Tannehill and, Derrick Henry coming off that injury. I know he returned for the playoff game, but I think, they have a pretty good shot to win that division. I mean, you think about Jacksonville and Houston. Not that Jacksonville is not going to be a lot better, but I think it's all in front of them. And I just think, I don't know about you, and I know a big part of it was, Derrick Henry missing. I think it was the final 8 or 9 games last season. I think Tannehill sucks.
Really?
Yeah, I think Mariota's better, honestly.
I don't know, dude. Come on. I always had a little bit of a soft spot for Tannehill. I liked him when he was with Miami too. Honestly, I thought he had some good moments.
I mean, this is it this year. Like, if he sucks, it's over.
How old is he now?
I want to say he's 33, going on 34. So yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right there.
Yeah.
So,
I think he'll step up, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, I think all of it really hinges on what version of Derrick Henry we're gonna get. I think that's the most important thing. And then we did have some news. So Leonard Fournette, he met with the Patriots yesterday, but then this morning they announced, courtesy of Ian Rappaport, he goes 3 years, $21 million with incentives that could get it to $24 million with the Bucks. So he comes back with Brady. And I think that's a good move for him. He's played well with the Bucks, and I've always liked Fournette. And I understand, bigger back. He's not like a home run threat, but he's so powerful. I think he's almost kind of undervalued in a way. He started out his career in Jacksonville. Of course, that's a tough spot to be in to begin with. And now that he's been with the Bucks, they've given some carries to Ronald Jones and Giovanni Bernard. But I really like him, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I would second that. Like you said, he is quick. He has some explosive speed. He's not really running a lot of people over, but he's good at finding gaps. He's good at kind of shuffling out to, like I said, to finding those gaps. And you see him get some big runs for it. And I'm sure, of course, with Brady coming back, that was a big influence for him coming back as well. And I think it's going to work well again, dude.
Yeah. And then we are getting close, almost a month out to the NFL draft. And actually, Mel Kiper released another mock today. First quarterback not going till I think 18th overall.
Really?
So really, going heavy on position players.
Interesting.
Had the Jets at 4, taking a receiver, Drake London from USC. So that's one spot ahead where like Jamar Chase was taken last year. So imagine if they could get an impact player there at 4.
How's that receiver? Is he good?
He's pretty good.
USC, dude.
Yeah, let's see the pro day though. Let's see the pro day. But I would love to, they haven't drafted a receiver in that spot.
Right.
What, since Keyshawn? I mean, it's been that long. Keyshawn.
Wow.
And then at 10, they had him taking a corner. So I think those would be good moves, coupled with what they've done in free agency. So I really can't wait for this draft. And it's just amazing, like, from no games being played, just how much juice there is in the NFL offseason. No other sport even comes close to it. I mean, of course, we get excited for like baseball free agent signings, but it's like paint dry because it's never this rush. It's always like, a couple of weeks here, a couple of weeks there. I mean, obviously it's different now because of the lockout, but really nothing compares to it.
Yeah, people making mock drafts every other day, dude. It's a lot of fun.
So we'll keep an eye on it. I don't think there was really any other NFL news. But as far as the MLB, we haven't got to talk about the big signings, over the weekend. The two shortstops, one Trevor Story, 6 years, 140 to the Boston Red Sox.
Mhm.
And then you have Correa, 3 years. I think it was like 110
Yeah.
or 111, whatever it was, with the Minnesota Twins, which was very surprising. I mean, what did you think about those moves?
So I think, honestly, I think it was surprising for both moves, really, because when you think Boston has Bogarts, right? At
Right.
short. So, is Trevor
Story
going
has
to
to play second?
Second.
And then Kiki has to either play outfield
Right.
or DH.
And
or whatever.
they had a second baseman. His name is escaping me already.
No, Kiki Hernandez.
No, it was another guy playing second too.
I don't know why.
He was a bigger dude. I forget his name, but obviously Trevor Story is going to be a great pickup for them. I was always, he was a free agent for a while. Surprised took him this long to get picked up. It's going to add to the middle infield for sure. It's going to add to their offense, but I think Boston's biggest problem is probably their pitching, really, dude. So,
and then I was just going to mention, were you referring to Christian Arroyo?
Arroyo, yeah.
Okay, yeah. He'll probably go to the bench, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I guess so. But I liked Arroyo, honestly. I thought he was decent. And again, the Red Sox surprised everyone last season with how far they went and everything and how well their pitching did. But it still continues to be a doubt for this year because it was, like I said, it was a surprise last year that they were that good. Like, can they really keep this up this year? It'd be interesting to see if they can kind of pick up any other pitching.
So, I was looking into this because as I was, texting you about yesterday, I had my fantasy draft and I was kind of just looking at all the players in general. So what the Red Sox are going to do, we know Sale has that injury, so he's not going to be ready for opening day. But Tanner Houck, who was big out of the pen last year, they're going to put him in the pen. And then former Yankee farmhand, and they took him away in the Rule 5 draft, Garrett Whitlock, another guy who was dominant out of the pen last year. They're going to start the two of them. So you couple that with Nathan Eovaldi and I guess Rich Hill, maybe Nick Pivetta. I honestly think you have Michael Wacha, the former Met great. But I honestly really think the ceiling is high for Whitlock and Houck. They both pitch well. Houck's 25 years old. Whitlock's 25 years old.
You think they'll transition well into the starting rotation?
I do, honestly, because they have the stuff. It's just a matter of, the extra
longevity.
Innings. Yeah, is that going to be a problem? So that's just something to keep an eye out for. But I think that's what they're really going to rely on. And Eovaldi, I don't think he's that good. I know he's had some decent years with the Sox. Have you ever been a big fan of him?
I feel like historically he's done well against the Yankees.
Yeah, and then he comes to the Yankees and has like a 6 ERA.
Honestly, yeah, dude. I have been kind of high on Eovaldi, honestly. I think he's good. He's got a nice arsenal. For the most part, he's got good location, I feel, too. He changes up his pitches pretty well. He's like an old school pitcher, he pitches them high and tight, too. It's good to see. Of course, you do see him get banged up, but again, I think people underrate Eovaldi, honestly.
And it's just like, so, he was with the Yankees 2015, 2016, 4.20 ERA, 4.76 ERA. And, they don't show I'm looking at ESPN just quick, but they don't have the the home runs up here, but he gave up a ton of home runs, has the Tommy John surgery, then goes back with the Rays, does decent. And the last couple of years with the Red Sox, he's been hit and miss. He's had injuries. You look at it, joined them in 2018, second half of the season, 12 starts, 333, but then bombed out to a 5.99 in 2019, injured in 2020, I guess a shortened season, but 9 starts, 3.72. And then last year, 3.75 ERA. 195 strikeouts, 182 innings, but I don't know. I just think he's like, for them, he's basically their number one pitcher with Sale out. I think he's a 4 or 5 starter.
Wow.
Where would you slot him? A 3?
Yeah. Maybe 2, dude.
Depending on the staff here. And then, so, a lot of people too, I'm sure you saw it on Twitter. Just the fact everyone was really mad at like Brian Cashman, the Yankees, because it's like they take on Donaldson's deal, and then that allows the Twins to sign Correa. But then there was a lot of talk, I think, from Rick and Dave yesterday on ESPN Radio, that Correa wouldn't have signed that type of deal with the Yankees. He only signed it with the Twins because he wanted the flexibility. And he figured, if he's going to go to the Yankees, he wanted that big, like 6, 7, 8 year deal. I mean, that's what their thought was. I mean, what do you think about that?
I mean, I could see that. I mean, honestly, I was a little puzzled to hear that he had to go with the Twins. I mean, you think of Carlos Correa, like obviously, he's a competitor. He's going to want to win. Why not go to a more competitive team like the Yankees? I mean, I feel like the Twins, dude, like, I also honestly, I could see the Yankees not wanting him to clog, to kind of clog up that middle infield. I mean, they have those two prospects. They have Volpe and that other guy, Peraza, yeah. Who obviously are looking really good. Hopefully, they're planning on getting them some playing time in the major leagues this season. So obviously, they wouldn't want to take on a big contract with Correa and then have these young prospects come up in a year or two. So I could see that being a good reason why they didn't really pursue him. But it's tough, dude. I mean, if he has a good year, it's like,
I know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen? You tell me.
No, this is in the Twins too. I'm just funny. ESPN.com, the Twins owner embracing Correa, front office commitment, bunch of nonsense. Okay. The Twins signed Correa for two reasons. One, to sell tickets early in the season. There'll be some buzz. The Twins fans will want to see Correa. And number two, they know that they're not going to compete this year. Come trade deadline, they're going to be out of it. They're going to be 10, 15 or more games under 500. They're going to trade him for a boatload of prospects, and they're going to use it to rebuild their farm system. That's 100% what the plan was here. I just see right through it, and I can't see it really any other way.
Yeah, but how does Correa not think that and be like, maybe?
Well, he doesn't care because he's the highest paid position player, I think, in MLB history.
Really?
$35 million a year, 35.3.
I can't think of.
And his plan is, all right, I'm going to have a career year. Right. I'm going to opt out, and now I'm going to get 7 years, 260, 270. I know the Astros were playing hardball with the 5 for 160.
Right.
But if you were him, would you have taken the 5 for 160? Or I think the Tigers even had like a 10 for 270. I mean, do you think he should have taken those deals, or do you think he has the ability to make even more money?
I think he does have the ability to make more money. I mean, Tigers for the 10 years, I mean, they probably would have had the same thing come trade deadline to kind of get rid of him for prospects and everything. In terms of Houston, I don't know. I would, if I were him, I would want to get out of Houston just because of the, the bad press there, regardless of how good they are and, obviously how long he's been with the Astros. So I definitely would not have gone back to the Astros if I were him, but I guess if he's looking to get that trade to get, to a contending team in the middle of the season, get that big contract sort of deal. I mean, that's very viable, dude. That can definitely happen.
Yeah. So it'll be an interesting storyline to watch for sure.
It's just going to be a big toss up, though. I feel like he could get traded to anyone.
Yeah. It really just injuries will play a big part in it.
There's a lot of pressure on him to perform. For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'm just kind of curious your thoughts here. I mean, you're a good person to ask, not being a fan of the team, but what the Yankees did in terms of committing to, Volpe and in some degree Peraza and, not bringing in any of these shortstops and getting rid of Gary Sanchez. They've caught a lot of slack for that. I mean, the number one fault I could say is, they should have just went all in on Freeman. That part I understand, but that aside, do you think because this is just a different mindset, something that they've never given a chance before, like giving your homegrown guys a chance and how manageable those contracts are for 6-7 years, whatever it is, at the end of the day, despite the resentment from the fans, do you actually think that it might be actually the right move and it's going to make them better in the long term or no?
I mean, there's definitely, I feel like it could go either way, but I mean, I love it, dude. I mean, the Yankees need to shake things up. They need to try different things, and starting with the farm system is the best way to go at this point. And, rather than, I guess kind of fight over, any free agencies and stuff like that, they're doubling down on their young guys, and those young guys are going to see that. They're going to want to play. They're going to be passionate about playing. I mean, yeah, dude, I love it. Who is I forget the kid's name. Who is the dude who came up from the minors this past year? I don't think
Andrew Velasquez.
Yeah, Bronx boy.
Yeah,
grew up, dude, loving the Yankees. Played pretty well when he came up. Like, was just totally ecstatic to even be there. I mean, that's what you want to get from your players, dude.
Yeah,
you want to get that drive, that passion for the game, that passion to play for New York, and I think that's what they would get from Volpe and Peraza.
Yeah, and what my hope is that you go second and short with them in the future. You know,
Mhm.
obviously you can move the other guys around, get rid of whoever you need to do. You know, so I love it too. And it's just, I think Peraza possibly could get called up this year. Looks like Volpe is next year, but it's just exciting to think about the possibilities with them. So we're all, you know, anxiously waiting.
Mhm.
You know, he got in their home opener the other day. And then, you know, Aaron Boone was saying a lot of great things about him. One position that I am concerned about is, you know, catcher, you know, because what is it?
Verdansk.
Yeah.
Verdansk.
Whatever it is, you know, he questionable with the oblique to begin on the active roster. So you got Kyle Higashioka, and then I mean Rob Brantley, I guess is a AAA catcher. You know, these are just journeyman minor league guys. You know, do you think that they make a late move here to bring in like a veteran? I'm just concerned. Listen, I know Higgy's good defensively, but I just don't want a guy starting 100 games behind the plate that's hitting 160.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think they have to. They really have to get a veteran catcher in there. I mean, you think about that position, how important it is to the game, how you really can't have a guy who's half-assed and who can't be a leader on the field. You need someone who comes up big, dude, in the big spots that you need from your catcher. And again, you know, someone who's sound defensively is always good. Like you said, you know, they need.
Oh.
Are you all right?
I'm sorry.
You're all right, Renee?
What do you think? I mean, you think they bring in a veteran catcher?
No, Renee wants to talk, obviously, on the show.
No, I used to carry.
Oh my God, it's too much.
But yes, they need a veteran catcher. Yes.
Either that or I know they won't do it, but it's like Austin Wells. He's in big league camp right now. I would love to just see them give him a chance at the backup job. I feel like they're not even giving him an opportunity.
Yeah, dude, you're totally right. It should be interesting to see what happens. I mean, but like, what type of catcher who's in the league now? Can they go for anyone?
So
What do you got, dude?
So I looked on NBC Sports Edge. This is one of the latest like news in the baseball section. So it says in recent weeks, it doesn't say how the negotiations went, but them and the Padres have inquired with the Chicago Cubs about Wilson Contreras. I love the idea.
Let's go, dude.
I think it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And I want to say,
what was his numbers last season?
Let's see. So I'll look up his numbers, but he's going to hit free agency after the year.
Right.
So I don't think it'll cost a ton. And then it's perfect because, you know, they want to take it slow, whatever. But then you can have Wells, you know, next year.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be the perfect stopgap. Something they've kind of done with like Russell Martin in the past. So last year, 21 home runs, hit 237, 128 games. I mean, that's pretty good production. And I think too, he can hit a little higher than that.
Absolutely, dude.
You know, he did have a career high 138 strikeouts, but I think there's ways to cut that down. I mean, he's 29 years old. So this could be a career year. I mean, a lot of times catchers, you know, around 30. That's why there's no long-term commitment. And I'm just looking at this. So Austin Wells, 22 years old. So I'm just seeing. So last year, you know, he didn't play above high A. So that's why I'm next season we'll have a shot at him, but he's probably going to split time between AA and AAA this season. But then, you know, you'll have a guy. So let's see. So he's going to turn 23 in July. So next season he'll turn 24. I mean, and then he's your catcher for the next 12 years. I mean, that'll be great.
Hell yeah, dude.
You know, he's got some pop. He's good defensively. Last year he hit 16 home runs in 100 games. He hit 264. So, you know, the former first-round pick in 2020. So, just exciting to get these guys up. But, you know, we got to wait it out. And like someone like Contreras, I mean, do you think it's like, you know, you could get him being that he has 1 year left on the deal for like 3 mid-level prospects? Do you think they're going to have to give up anybody that there's going to be reluctance to give up in order to acquire him?
I don't think so, dude. I mean, you know, you think of his production, it was, I think, crazy, I guess, but I mean, obviously it's good. And I would say the amount of times he's struck out, you know, I mean, obviously the Yankees trying to cut down on strikeouts across the board here. So I don't think, you know, be a little bit harder for them to sell Contreras to the Yankees, I suppose, with those, you know, high strikeout rate. But I mean, yeah, I would say maybe a few mid-level prospects. I wouldn't think, I mean, would they want a catcher in return, you think?
Well,
Donsk?
they so they actually signed. Wait, that pronunciation, is that actually how you pronounce it?
I don't know, dude.
Where did that come from, though?
Donsk.
No, but I feel like that's not. Isn't it revert?
Is it? I don't know.
No, I swear to God, like I'm just wondering where that's coming from.
I don't know. It's just the thing I did. I got nothing.
All right. I mean, it's organic.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. So before the lockout, they signed Jan Gomes, 2 years, $13 million, the Cubs.
Okay.
So I don't think they necessarily need a catcher in return. And I just think that it would just make a lot of sense to get something back for him, because it doesn't seem like he's a guy that, they're going to re-sign. And, even if it is just a 1 year thing with the Yankees, as long as, they're not giving up Peraza, obviously, like they're not going to give up Volpe or Clark Schmidt or anybody, but like, Estevan Florial, possibly like Andujar, something like that. I think you got to just go for it. And I do think too, I mean, you think about him hitting 21 home runs, hitting 237 compared to Higgy hitting 180.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a pretty
Big
big
step
upgrade.
up. Yeah, dude.
So something to definitely, keep an eye out for. And anything in terms of the Mets, any late moves you think that they're going to bring in, or you think they're pretty much done at this point?
I think maybe they're pretty much done at this point. I mean, who else really are they going to be going after?
It was funny. They were talking about this on Boomer and Gio today, that the lineup they're a little concerned about. What are your thoughts there?
Oh yeah, like I'm definitely concerned. I mean, again, we talked about them getting rid of like Davis and Smith and kind of even signing Conforto again. They haven't really done that. I feel like their outfield might be a little lacking. And all these guys. I mean, besides like really like Nimmo, who of course was hurt for a decent portion of the season, none of them really batted very well consistently.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it leads to a big question mark in terms of their hitting abilities.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like the Yankees, in a sense, like really relying on these guys to bounce back.
Right.
But what are your expectations? I mean, obviously, it was a tight start last year to Francisco Lindor this year. I mean, do you feel like he's going to have a big year?
Yeah, I think he's the type of guy who can shake a bad year off, and still come out, on the other end positive with things that he knows he has to work on. And of course, that spring season is the time to work on it, right? It is unfortunate with the lockout that there was, a lack of working through some problem areas for him, but maybe a slow start for him again, similar to what happened last year. But I'm seeing him, picking it up maybe in July, June.
Almost paralleling like Carlos Beltran's start.
Yeah,
at Met.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you think him and McNeil have sorted out the rat issues at Citi Field?
I don't know, dude, honestly. Because I mean, knowing McNeil's fucking stubborn ass, dude. So it's like, I don't know. I would think so. They haven't gotten rid of McNeil, so it's like maybe they did kind of squash some beef and they'll be able to play together. More understanding of their roles in the field, because seemingly that's kind of how it started with that type of miscommunication. And again, Lindor, the type of person he is, I guess, I could see it being squashed.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, too, it's good to hang on to him because I don't know about you, but I mean, especially before last year, I always looked at McNeil as a guy who could like win a batting title, and I know his average wasn't good last year, but I think he could hit over 300.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. It's good to hold on to him. Of course, again, you are relying on these guys to have the bounce back years, which I could see, honestly. Dom Smith surprisingly looks pretty good.
Yeah.
In some simulated games, he's hit a few dingers off DeGrom, and Scherzer has been decent during the spring training games. So it's being laid down for a nice bounce back year for him, which would be nice. Hopefully, with that bat, he's working some defense as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Because obviously you can never have too much defense.
Yeah.
And then do you see David Peterson got popped in his spring debut?
Yeah, dude.
But Tyler McGill looked good.
Yeah.
Scherzer going 5 innings off the rip.
Yeah, dude. Love to see that.
Not concerned about the dead arm down the stretch?
No, absolutely not. I think the front end of their rotation is going to be obviously their strong suit, but it's the back end I'm a little worried about. It's the bullpen I'm a little worried about as well.
So basically, Tawan Walker, you're worried about?
Yeah. Again, you saw his hot start, but there's significant drop off after the All-Star break. I mean, is not what you need at all, dude. That's where you need him to excel even more. So, it should be interesting to see. How they come out. Obviously, the Mets seemingly relying on their pitching as they've done in the past few years to kind of win them some games. Should be interesting. And of course, as long as DeGrom stays healthy, I mean, I think we have a good shot, dude.
But your Buck filling out the rotation. Obviously, DeGrom 1, Scherzer 2, I guess Bassett 3.
Right.
Who do you give those 4 and 5 slots to?
I mean, 4's got to go for Walker, right? I guess 5 is a big toss-up, dude. I mean,
it's either McGill, Peterson, or who else is in the conversation? No one really, right?
I guess it goes to McGill at that point.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not going to go to Peterson.
Yeah. So I honestly, I know he kind of crashed late, but I think McGill still could be pretty good, honestly.
No, yeah, I think so too. And again, a young guy who has, a lot ahead of him for sure. And again, if he's worked on some stuff, he's got a season under his belt. He's got some good games, some good starts under his belt as well. A couple clunkers under his belt. Hopefully he earned a lot from last season. He kind of comes out pretty hot.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah,
spring is in the air. Baseball's around the corner. Could not be more pumped, Tony. And pretty soon we're gonna have to do those division previews. I think within the next week or so, right?
Yeah, you got it, right?
So really looking forward to that. So much juice out there. And I really think, despite, there being a lot of conversation about how, the lockout, created a lot of negativity, people saying they're not going to watch this and that. I almost think it created more buzz because it was like taken away from a lot of us. And we were just so excited for baseball to finally be here. And now that it is, I do think there's going to be a lot of excitement. I mean, there's been a lot of player movement, a lot of changes. And I think there's nothing better than just seeing what teams are going to bring, what surprises there are. I mean, it's all good stuff.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when you think about it, a lot of these players like the Correa and the Donaldson and the Freeman going to teams you didn't really expect, new faces for new teams, and no true baseball fan is going to not watch baseball because of the lockout. I mean, that's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. No, every single person on sports radio when people during the lockout were saying, "Oh, I'm not coming back. That's it. Nope, I'm done." They did it, and every single host says, "No, you're coming back."
Yeah, really, dude. Get out of here. You're gonna be watching opening day. Yeah. Come on.
Oh man, so good stuff. Any other news that comes our way, we'll keep everyone posted, and like I said, get those divisional previews out soon. But now let's switch gears to the world of the National Hockey League.
In they come, Evans, what a save by Vasilevsky! Are you kidding me? McAvoy, Frederick, did you get the license plate number on that truck? McDavid, beautiful move. You just knew that Connor McDavid was going to make a statement. What a goal.
What a goal.
All right, Tony. So let's first start, with hockey, of course. Didn't get to talk to you about the Rangers' big weekend. Vetrano makes his debut, scores a goal.
Hell yeah, baby.
They beat the Lightning and Hurricanes in back-to-back games. They make some more moves yesterday. I mean, how excited are you about this team? And then the number one deterrent on the team, Georgiev, has 44 saves against one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, baby. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see from the Rangers. And of course, getting Vetrano added that little bit of offense that they need. I mean, just, scoring that one goal is all you need. Just, bringing attention to yourself, making some good plays. Just obviously, Vetrano's been around a bit. He's played. He's got good timing on the ice. He knows what to do. He knows his role, which is great. It gives everyone else more chances to have a good offensive game. And then Georgiev, your boy, dude, coming up with the 44 saves, looking like a brick wall out there. I mean, you just beat two of the best teams in the league.
Right.
I mean, that's phenomenal that you can do that. You have that ability. And then, with the additions they've had already since trade deadline was yesterday, right? So they got 3 more guys, dude. They added 2 centers who can give you, again, they're not blowout offensive guys, but they will give you a push on offense. They will generate some offense for you, just a little bit more that the Rangers need. So, I mean, I'm loving it, dude. I'm on a high.
Yeah. And I really just because that was a stretch. I mean, you could easily see them losing both of those games.
Yeah.
And the fact that Georgiev 44 saves, I mean, is crazy. I mean, you hope that he can kind of, learn from that and just kind of it's all up from here. I mean, time will tell for sure. Now, the couple moves, that they made yesterday, I believe, was it Cope, Moat, and Braun? Were those the three guys that they picked up?
Yeah.
Which one excites you most?
Honestly, probably Justin Braun. He's been in the league forever. I feel he's a veteran left-handed defenseman. He'll be able to kind of lock it down on the blue line for us, which is great. I guess you could say, I'm excited for everyone because the other two centers, they came over from, I think Andrew came over from Winnipeg and Mott from Vancouver. And, Mott has been doing really well for Vancouver. I know the Rangers tried to pursue Miller, but, Vancouver was just asking too much for Miller. They made it almost impossible to even get him. So it was worth it to kind of go for Tyler, dude. And now you have these two centers who are good centers. They win a lot of faceoffs. They'll get you possession. And again, they get that little bit of offense. I think, they each have like maybe 12 goals, 20 assists on the season around there. So they're good average offensive players. And again, who have seen a lot of games, who know what they're doing, know their role on the team. And that's just going to generate offense all around.
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting to see.
And you think about, so picking up them, getting more offense, like you said, is huge because defensively, they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. And virtue of those two big wins, over Tampa, over Carolina, right now they find themselves tied for third. I guess they have the tiebreaker over Pittsburgh.
Right.
And they're only 3 points behind Carolina, 5 points behind Florida. The number 1 seed, I think that's going to be a little tough. But that 2 seed, if they really finish out strong here, they could potentially get that. And that's the difference between playing like the Bruins or the Capitals or the playing like the Toronto Maple Leafs instead of the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I think, that's huge. And then, you get the 2 seed, then you have home ice through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. So I think that's very much in reach here. And I just think that they've really positioned themselves to get there. What do you think? Do you think they have a realistic shot of catching Carolina?
What's the difference in points
3
here?
3 points.
3 points? Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. I don't know what Carolina's schedule looks like, but I know, towards the end of the season, I know the Rangers probably have like the Capitals, the Bruins, probably Carolina again, honestly. And, these are teams, again, that are very beatable. And it should be interesting to see, honestly, the dynamic of the team with these new acquisitions. There's a lot of pressure on those younger guys like Kakko and Lafreniere that we've been talking about who haven't been really performing as well. And even Vetrano, too. First line, he's producing offense, dude. He's getting that goal in his debut. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Kakko and Lafreniere. Hopefully that pressure kind of, creates some good plays out of them, dude.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
And I really feel good about this team for sure. I think they've improved in a lot of areas as the season's gone on. So we'll see. They're going to resume tonight. But just quickly, kind of update our picks here. So yesterday we actually sweep the floor going 4-0. You hit with the Bruins and the Wild. I hit with the Avalanche and the Preds. So right now, still a 1-game differential. You sit at 30-24. I sit at 29-25 as that Friday deadline looms to get the tickets for that April 1st game versus the Islanders. So ton on the line. And just quickly, looking at the games from last night, you saw the Bruins barely get by in overtime versus the Canadiens. But is it for them, like, Marchand scores the game winner in overtime? Is that something where you don't really take much from the fact that they had troubles with the Canadiens because it's a win's a win, and you're just trying to position yourself as best you can for the playoffs? Yeah,
absolutely. And, talk about the Canadiens. I know, like, obviously their record isn't great, but we saw, a huge push for them from St. Louis. Allen, their goalie, had like 43 saves last night. He was on it last night. So it was still nice to see, Marchand, I guess, bookend the game, the first goal, the last goal. And that's exactly what you expect from your playmakers, to kind of start and end the game pretty high. So I would say, just a win's a win, dude.
Yeah, so they get the win, their 39th of the year. The Wild blanked the Golden Knights 3-0. And Talbot, 28 saves, shutout. So not feeling the pressure of Marc-Andre Fleury coming to town. So that's a nice win for them. The Golden Knights, I mean, it's unbelievable. It just seems like they're really bottoming out and are barely going to hang on to make the playoffs. I mean, do you think there's any hope in Vegas right now?
Yeah, dude. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs. We've seen them have this lack of offense before. We've seen them bounce back from it. It should be interesting just to see who shows up in terms of when that game comes along, when it's kind of, push comes to shove. I can see them making the playoffs out the first round, though.
Yeah, it's just not this year. Maybe next year they'll get it together, have a nice offseason. But for right now, it just doesn't seem like it's in the cards. Strongest team in the league, Colorado Avalanche. All they do is win 3-2 overtime victory against the Oilers. So they get McKinnon with the game winner, his 22nd of the season. As much as it sucks for the Oilers here to get that close and then lose, I think it was just impressive that they were able to hang with the Avalanche, on the road. And I think, they're going to end up, finishing pretty decently here for the playoffs right now, 35-23-5. And then Colorado, I mean, we've seen it before and we'll see it again. It just seems like doesn't matter what type of game they need to play, high scoring, low scoring, good team, bad team.
Right.
They just, at the end of the day, find a way to win games.
Yeah, dude. And they honestly, they played pretty sloppy 5-on-5 hockey last night. If it wasn't that, they had 2 power play goals, they have one of the best power play units in the league. If the Oilers were a little bit more disciplined, they could have ran away with it. You saw Evander Kane had a goal last night. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, dude, for whatever reason it is, Colorado just always finds a way to win.
And then last game of the night, the Preds, they finally did me right. I picked them against the Ducks.
I'm so surprised, dude, for you.
6-3, Forsberg had the 2 goals. So a nice win for them, 37-22 on the year. And really just have rebounded after a kind of a tough start. And, I think they're going to be a tough out, come playoff time as well. And the Ducks, I think that it seemed like for a while they were going to be a lot better this season. I don't know if it's a factor of, those veteran players being older, kind of wearing down as the season goes on. But as for right now, I mean, they're 27-11. I mean, I don't know if they're even going to make the playoffs. Kind of a disappointing year for them, no?
Yeah, a little bit, dude. I mean, you said it. When you have a veteran team like this, longevity is always a big question. They're a team I kind of expected to make some moves, honestly, by the trade deadline. But I don't know. I guess they're going to kind of double down with who they have. Hopefully, some of the young guys that they do have, I guess, like I said, they're doubling down. Hopefully, they kind of produce as the season kind of comes, close to a closing here as we're reaching the postseason. But I don't know, dude.
How about right now? Just looking at the Western Conference standings. Listen to some of these matchups. So we have Colorado versus Vegas, Calgary versus Edmonton, Minnesota versus the Kings, and Nashville versus St. Louis. Pretty good, no?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? It's exciting hockey.
And honestly, I mean, it would take them to be right on their A game, but I could see Edmonton pulling it in the first round, 7-2.
Come on, dude.
No way. They got to steal game 1. That's what they got to do in Calgary.
Yeah, still both games, dude.
Or do they need to get a tender? Maybe get Patrick Waugh.
Oh my God.
Because I mean, you could you see come playoff time like Koskinen giving up 6-7 goals a couple games?
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. He can have a clunker, definitely, but I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Edmonton, not going far.
Yeah, I mean, it just, like I said, I mean, they just got to outscore their opponents, but it'll be, hopefully, they'll hang on here. And I mean, right now, if you look at it, I mean, they technically are only 3 points behind Nashville for the 4 seed. So I think that would obviously be huge if they could work their way up, get home ice. Never know what'll happen. Obviously, a lot of hockey left to be played. And we do have a full slate tonight, Tony. So as we look to get some type of move in the standings here after, I mean, geez, it's been the last 11 games were dead even at, what is it, 4 and 5? So 6 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Both of us are last 11. So what do you got for me?
Dude, we got some crazy matchups tonight, I feel. Like everyone
Insane.
It really could go any way, dude. Even the bad teams. Like they're playing other bad teams. It's crazy. Let's see. My first pick. Dude. I guess give me the Rangers, dude. They're in Jersey tonight at the Prudential Center. They're playing the Devils. Rangers on a high. I don't know about that.
No, I'm
one,
just
dude.
kidding. It's
I don't
not.
think so. Shesterkin's definitely going to be in net, dude. I feel like, dude, they're just trash the Devils right now. I'm looking at the Devils. They got a few injuries, dude. Jimmy Vesey's day. He'll probably play. But I mean, the Rangers coming off the high of the weekend, dude. There's no way they're losing to a team like the Devils. I mean, it's classic matchup, classic rivalry. Give me the Rangers 4-1.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I just think at this point in the season, new additions, jockeying for playoff position. The Rangers are just simply not messing around. So I definitely would have taken that one. I am going to go to Canada, your favorite spot.
Oh, yeah?
Go with the Calgary Flames over the Sharks.
Nice,
minus 300 favorites here. Calgary, great at home, and just overall 38, 16, and 8. The Sharks, sure, they've won a couple games, and Meyer had 5 goals in one game this year. But it's all about Gaudreau, 52 assists on the season. I think he sets the table again. Give him a goal and 2 assists as Calgary stomps over the Sharks 6-2.
Oh, 6-2, dude. All right, my next game. I'm gonna go to Dallas tonight. I'm thinking, dude. They're playing the Edmonton Oilers. I gotta go Oilers, honestly.
Wow, I swear I typed in.
You typed in, yeah, that happens every day. I swear I typed in the other team. I feel like Edmonton. I mean, they're kind of again hit or miss, but I feel like as of late, dude, they won 4 of the last 5 games. Of course, they just lost to Colorado in that tight game too. So I mean, like they're playing decent defense. They're generating some good offense, and I guess a team like Dallas who's been a little shaky, I feel, as of recently. Give me Edmonton 3-2 in regulation.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Like to see it. So taking a look here, I mean, like you said, I mean, these are tough.
Yeah, right, dude?
I don't love this pick, but I just feel like they're gonna win. So give me the Penguins over the Blue Jackets in a nail biter. I'm gonna say Penguins 3-2 in overtime, and they'll get the game winner from your guy, Gutznell.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised, dude. Very surprised, but I like it, dude. All right, my next game, dude, the Kraken Coyotes game.
I had that circled.
Dude.
I had it circled.
But I think I'm gonna go to Detroit tonight. Flyers just giving away one of the better defensemen. Detroit bound to bounce back in this game, dude. Bound to. They've been absolutely trash in their past couple weeks. And they won one of their last 5 games. Vancouver. It was a 1-0 game. Like, come on, dude. They got to be generating some more offense here, which I think tonight is going to be a good opportunity for them to do so. So give me the Red Wings in a 4. Actually, give me 5-3 Red Wings.
5-3.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. Larkin have a game or?
Yeah, dude. Give me 2 goals and an assist.
Wow,
I know.
The Barn
dude.
special, 2
The Barn
goals,
special,
1
baby.
assist. Like we said, I mean, this is tough. But I'm gonna go, disappointing game last time out on the ice for the New York Islanders. They are facing one of your favorite teams, the Ottawa Senators. They did lose to the Flyers last time after beating the Stars and Rangers in consecutive games. And I just think they bounce back tonight. I think, they're ready to score some goals here against Ottawa. Give me the Islanders, as they try to work their way into the playoffs here. Give me a 5-2 victory over the Senators. And they just keep on shooting up those standings.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, Islanders, I like that pick. They've been doing really well at home recently.
Yes,
specifically. So.
Exactly. UBS Arena, everybody's riled.
Are
they not riled?
No, they are riled at the UBS Arena, dude. That's for sure.
Is it UBS or RBS? No, it is UBS.
UBS.
Okay,
yeah.
yes. I don't know why I would even question what I was saying. I mean,
you're always right, Barnes.
I mean, hard to argue with that one there. And really, that's what we got for hockey. 3 picks. So hopefully we'll get some jockeying in position. And one, just a couple things here, before we wrap up that I'd like to mention. We were taking a look at the NBA games from yesterday. How about the Lakers defeating the Cavs in Cleveland? LeBron puts on the show, 38 points, 11 rebounds, 12 assists. Did you see the posterization of Kevin Love?
I did not. Oh, Kevin Love.
We got to look at this. Michael would go nuts if he was here.
Nice.
We gotta fix these chairs. Yeah. The chairs.
Where am I? 13 hours ago, dude. Let's see it. Let's share it. Where are we?
I think honestly you're gonna be impressed, Tony. Which is, I know it's tough to do.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious. I really am.
Share screen. Let's get the Chrome tab up, dude. Kevin Love. Where are we? Yeah. This is it, dude?
Yeah. Tell me your thoughts here.
Oh.
Kevin Love was there, but then he wasn't
Said
there.
he's not going near him.
LeBron just jumped over him. Look at that. His head at
I mean, does
rim.
that look like someone that's in the 19th season?
That is
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
LBJ. And
But
then
Kevin Love.
when they came out to start the third,
that's
Kevin Love
funny.
said, "This is how you treat
That's
your
cute.
friends. This is how you treat
Hey,
your
I mean,
friends." Well,
You know, they won a
wouldn't be.
championship together and they had a good time.
That's a good time right there, dude.
So I just had to bring that up. And then one other thing that surprised me, you know, Mike's been huge on the Miami Heat this year. How about the Sixers don't play Embiid, don't play Harden, but yet beat the Miami Heat yesterday, 113-106, and leading the charge, Tyrese Maxey, 28 points, and then they did get 20 off the bench from Milton, my mistake there. But that's kind of why, I even picked the Heat yesterday, but I just feel like it's like, I just think they're just like an okay team. I just cannot see them winning a championship.
Why didn't Philly play Harden?
Embiid had the back, and then Harden, oh, my boy Joel's not playing. I need a night off. You know how that stuff works.
That's ridiculous.
The propaganda.
But good for Philly, though, dude.
Yeah.
Still.
I mean,
I know you're not hard on Miami, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I like Embiid. I just don't like Harden. I mean, tell me that he's not a little soft, Harden. I mean, think about how he melts in the big game, how he talks the big game. He goes fat suit. I mean, enough,
No, yeah, he's a chief, dude. Total chief.
So just really thought that was interesting. But really, Tony, other than that, I mean, anything else just come to mind as we come to a close here?
I don't think so, dude.
I think we really covered it all.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Rangers Islanders coming up.
Let's go, baby.
So need a big night out of me. But you know what? I'm a team player, still rooting for the Rangers tonight. Even though that'll only help you out. But I mean, it's all about the playoffs. It's all about the pursuit of that first Stanley Cup since '94.
And you're bound to get at least one win. So cancel out.
I'm bound to get three. I'm bound to get three. But great stuff as always. Really appreciate everyone tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. The merch, downtimetv.com, all of our archives on the YouTube page. So definitely check that out. Enjoy the nice spring day. Enjoy the games later tonight. And we will see you
mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.